and you're Jesus. You know what I mean? Something like that? Yeah, so who, how, I mean, it's kind of that sense. So you got your Catholics saying that you should practice your religion this way, and then you got Christians, and it's been corrupted too, just like government. So my personal relationship with God is my own, whether it's in this car, which is a lot, when I'm either going to work or wherever, or in a closet or at home, or what. My personal relationship with God is my own. God and Jesus is my own, and I came to God on my own, and I'm building my relationship with Him, you know, as my own relationship with God. It's up to each individual on how they build their religion or relationship to their Buddha or their God or their Jesus or their higher power, or, you know, powers to be, however. So that's that stance. We kind of agreed. We actually agreed on that it's just as corrupt as government, and yeah, so it's kind of that thing. So that came up when it came to abortions. The question was, what was it? What was the question? How can the blue side be personally opposed to abortion and yet be pro-choice legally? That was the question. That was one of the questions. How can you be opposing abortion but yet be pro-choice? And some of them said if you took the religion out of it, because it's so stretched, I guess you'd say, that's when, if you take the religion out of the choice of pro-choice of the body, then who is it to say that somebody can tell you, no, you can't take an ovary out, no, you can't, you know what I mean? Can't take. That was a very tricky subject for all parties involved, because it's like, I'm not for abortions, I'm against it, blah blah blah, and then you got those, well, if you're raped, why force a woman to carry something that they did not choose, whether it be rape or something like that? So there should be choices and things like that for the safety of a woman. If it's going to interfere with the safety of a woman, then there should be some kind of choices. That one got real. That's the only time that religion kind of got put in any of this. Not God. God wasn't taken out of it. Or power be or whatnot. That wasn't taken out. It's that religion part where it's dictation of, okay, well, you're supposed to do holy water here, but then you're supposed to, you know what I mean? Holy water here, but you're supposed to break bread there. You can drink wine here, but you can't. I kind of took the religion part of it out, but not God, or if you believe you know, the higher be, or God, or Jesus, or Buddha, or whatever religion you're part of. Because our religions aren't the same as somebody else's, or my religion's not the same as somebody else's, and then vice versa, you know. So that's kind of right there. They thought, or the other side thought, that Republicans are just Bible thumpers, no ifs, ands, or but. You're going, that they will shove the Bible down somebody's throat, per se, is how they perceived a lot of Republicans. And we found out that that's what's thought, and at the same time they found out that they was actually totally wrong, because there's different levels on that. On, you know, the Bible thump type thing. Like, you know, if you don't believe this, you're going to do this, this, that, and the other. When somebody else's religion can say, well, it's kind of, yeah, that's tricky too on that. Yep. So that's that on the religion. So, not that God was taken out of it, because everybody understood, not everybody, but, and for the most part, if you believe in God and Jesus and the light of that nature of your religion, that should be the forefront of your decisions. Does that make sense? As me as a Christian, you know, I take whatever and everything to God first, and, you know, brother Jesus and all that. I take it there before going on or making any decisions, because I can't do it without him. But that could be totally different with other people. You know, well, you're not a Christian, so you're just no good. That's, no. If you're a Christian, you know that's wrong. In my, you know, but that's my opinion. And it holds true for most part. Love thy neighbor, per se. Like I said, everybody's got different beliefs. So, yeah. Let's go past that. Let's just go past that. Like, my relationship with God and Jesus is my own. So I can't, on my side of this, I can't have somebody else tell me that I am loving my God wrong. Or any of that nature. Why would you call that wrong? So, you know what I mean? Each individual's relationship with their God, or higher be, is their own. And I'm not saying theirs is the same as mine, but in what I'm taught, because it could be different, is that we are to seek him. So who are we to say that they haven't seeked their God? And I know in Christian, you know, there should not be any other idols and, you know, that kind of thing. But theirs could say the same thing, only different. So, I mean, you know, yeah, we'll just get away from that. But yeah, we had talked about what we should do specifically for the legals and all that stuff. So there was a lot of agreement on that. It's not like anybody was against it. It's just, you know, one side's like, we fear for our safety. And another one was, Democrats think that Republicans are homophobic, which is totally false. The phobic part of it is fear of. So the phobic of anything, and I'm just going to throw this, my opinion on phobic, because it's a fear of anything. Could say Americophobic, because I'm in fear of what's going to happen with America. That's a fear. That is a true fear. But not all Republicans, like I said, there's, you know, you have your apples and you got your oranges in groups, are not homophobic. It's not like they are fear of what they unknown. They know what homosexuality and all that stuff is. It's not that they fear it. You have those who, you know, what you do in your personal life over here and stuff it's great. Your love, your happiness, and you're building your life and things like that. And that's whether you're homosexual or bisexual, all those. It was shocked that the Republicans thought, well, that was weird, because to be thought of as homophobics. We're not saying there isn't any homophobics out there, But as a group type thing, that, no, it's not true. It's a, phobic is a fear of something. Arachnophobia, I think it's fear of spiders or something. You know, that kind of thing. You know, claustrophobic. Phobic is a fear of something, and it was a misguided conception that all Republicans are homophobic. Now, they might have their views about it. Well, everybody has views about everything. About homosexual, they may have those views. Not all of them. Like I said, it's that group thing. I'm not good with the group thing. It's individuals. Because it's totally not true for a lot of things. But anyway. But they thought, as a group, all are Bible thumpers, homophobics, blah, blah, blah. And it's not true. It's a fear of something. And homophobic, it's not like they don't know what it is. They may not know what causes, I don't know about how homosexual comes about. It's not that they're fear of it, it's the knowledge of it and not understanding. So anyways, a lot of it's what you do, whether you're straight or what have you, personal life, you know, you do it at your home, you know, build your life, but don't force that kind of thing on others. But it's not a homophobic. Do you understand? Kind of understand where that it's at? It's homophobic is not the correct term, I don't think. It's not that they're scared of the unknown, because a lot of people know what it is. And we also but we understood that there's a age gap on some of these items. On a lot of items, actually. You got the people that are set in their ways, the older ones, this, that, and the other. It's just this way, and it ain't going to change, blah, blah, blah. Which is not necessarily true for all of them. And then you got the young ones who want to be individuals. Whether it's, you know, the pink hair, the blue hair. I've done my hair blue. I love blue. Blue's my favorite color. You know, just wanting so bad to be an individual some way. Whether it's blue hair, whether a guy or girl with blue hair, or a guy or girl with pink hair, or a child or an adult or whatever. But you kind of get that. But the younger crowd feels so smothered and left behind and not noticed that a lot of things are popping up. And it's like, whoa, wait, what just happened? It's not that it's a fear. It's just like, what just happened? So, do you understand? So the age thing is a character too on some people's beliefs. If you want to run up and down the street with your, let's go with morals here, morals and legal stuff, you know, barefooted or with pink hair or eyelashes or eyeliner, what, don't matter who you are, and you're just trying to become an individual. That I understand. I understand wanting to be an individual. Like I said, I'm not comfortable with the binding everybody in a group. It's knowing the individual who they are, which a lot of individuals who they are hiding because of this stereotype, you know, because of the stereotype. You know, like somebody might love to color. Probably not a good thing to, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out some way of to say this. Anyway. Say somebody likes tennis shoes. Guy or girl, young, old, whatever, and that's all they do. Tennis shoes, blah, blah, blah. Somebody might like high heels. I don't like high heels, especially well, I won't say I don't like them. I like shoes. But I like them thicker heels than the narrow, needle-pointed ones, you know. Everybody's got differences, and everybody's wanting to be an individual as themselves and not be a cookie cutter. And don't want to be stereotyped for that either. And everybody's guilty for it. Everybody's guilty for it. No offense, you know, the man bun thing, you know, this it's just don't do nothing for me. It might do something for everybody else, but it's that kind of thing. But everybody's trying to be an individual and not being a cookie cutter part of the group, and not being themselves, you know, not trying to be themselves, and not being stereotyped and ridiculed for being themselves, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of where that's at on. So it's not phobic, and that's a misconception. It's not phobic. It's a fear of. This is what phobic is. We're not fear of that. Although, yeah, maybe a lot of people are fear of change. You kind of know what I mean? Fear of change. I'm sorry, but we need change. Suck it up. Learn to change. Do changes. I'm doing it. But then again, you know, what I do is different from somebody else's. Boy, I got some fears doing, just like I'm talking to you right now, like it's normal. It's not normal for me, but hey, well, I'm going with it. Going with it. Tired eyes and all. Baggy eyes. Makeup's probably all gone, but hey, it happens. But yeah, it got intense. You know, you had those, nope. It wasn't verbal. It was more body language, which I usually watch anyways. You could tell they're ready to come up, you know, people, others were ready to come up out of that chair. And, you know, whoa. And then you had those who were just, the tears was just flowing. No, I wasn't saying anything. Well, I did, but some were flowing tears and wasn't saying anything. Why? Just, and then you had some that just totally shut down, fear of talking. They actually opened up, per se. But it took some time, because I understand it's the opening up part. Not good. I mean, it's good. Should do it. But it's the fear, well, phobic, I guess. I've been within myself, that I've actually cheated myself of knowing the world more by being so in. Not only was I cheating myself, I was cheating others. The bright light thing, I'm not, it's just a light right now, but I have a bright light, and I know I found it. I'm not going to try to lose it, other than it's probably damn I'm tired. But I got my coffee to stay up with this video. But this is awesome. And scary. But, you know, the fear, combat some of those fears. You know, moral type fears. Let me throw it out there. There's this other, it was another stereotype, rednecks. I'm not laughing at rednecks. Another, that Democrats, I hate doing that. Hate's a strong word, but some of the left side were thinking the right side was money hungry, redneck style, non-educated. And I'm serious, this is what came up. And it kind of contradicted, it kind of contradicted a lot of things. How can you be not high, you're saying that they're highly educated, or not, no, they're not educated yet, they're so business oriented type. A lot of it was contradicting, and I think it was just a lot of confusion on how to address it, you know. And the name came up, or the word polarization came up. I don't know what that means, and I'm going to find out what it is. I don't know a lot of things. I learned something new. That was one. I'm like, what? I'm not getting a visual. I don't know what polarization is. As soon as I heard polar, I'm thinking polar bear. No, that's not a blonde thing. It's just, if I don't get the visual of things, it's just, Whoa. I have no clue. But anyways, it's like everybody's polarizing things is what came up. If I think what it is, I could be wrong. And like I said, I got to look at it. Is it that tunnel vision? Because on both sides, or all, the whole whatever, came to an agreement that we're being coaxed to what we should be knowing or not knowing. What's going on the right hand, what's going on the left hand. With the ABC networks, the magazines, the novels, the actual movies that are out, programs, news, radio stations, they're kind of brainwashing. It could be another word. I know what brainwashing is, but it could mean something else to somebody else, kind of like acronyms. That we're being guided on how we should or shouldn't think, and not as an individual. But then a lot of people don't want to think or be as an individual because of the criticizing and the bullying, or the, nope, you're wrong, you just wrong, which is wrong to do. But you know what I mean? It's that polarizing. Like I said, I have no idea what that word means. I'm going to find out, you know, just because I'm curious. But I'm thinking it might be, because that's how I'm looking at it, is that tunnel vision, where you're not looking what's going on around side of you. It's just what's right there in front of you. I look, or don't look, for a lot of answers. Close my eyes, that way I can actually see something for what it is. And that may or may not make sense to some, but that's kind of how it is. Or you look around, you know, find the blessings, or find the blessing, be a blessing. But there's just so much out here that, and I was guilty of it too. You got your head in the sand. I was, you know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this is how it was. I was a wife and a mother for almost 30 years. I'm always going to be a mother. Let me throw that out there. Always going to be mother and Mimi. But I was so tied up with having, or keeping the family, the family and keeping the family I had together, so hard, you know, for the family I didn't have growing up. That's a whole new, we won't go there. But you kind of see what I'm saying? So my thoughts were, you know, for better or for worse, sickness for health, I'm going to raise my family, because of the family I was able to grow up with. You know, family wasn't whole, and I fought so hard to try to keep the family I currently had that I didn't have, if that makes sense. So kind of said I was sheltered, but not like I was spoon-fed sheltered. It was kind of like I was tunnel visioned. You know, my concern was my children, my husband, what was going on in the home. I had no idea what's going on outside of. Boy, I can tell you, I'm finding all kinds of things the last couple years, and I'm liking it. I mean, for the most part. And other things, it's like, oh my goodness, I cannot. So I am guilty of letting this world become the way it is too. That's what I'm saying. We just all get tied up with something, you know, and we just totally don't look what's over here and this, that, and the other. And it's thrown at us too that way. I was telling them, you know, nobody knows how to interact with people. You go get pizza, and you're sliding under plexiglass where there's no handshake, or, you know what I mean? We're between glass, so there's not that human interaction. We got freaking glass. But I understand the security, especially a certain time of night. Pizza open till 2:30. People out there with guns, so they're crazy. So I understand that too, but that's for their protection. But it's also not a protection per se when it comes. Because when you get in the real world and you're trying to overcome obstacles and no one knows how to do it, so let's just end it right now. And that's not how you should be thinking. Let's end it right now. I don't I don't believe. You know, we can't work through problems without the final. You know what I mean? The final of the total end. Not good. We just don't know how to communicate with each other. And I can't, I'm not good at it either. I know, not good with communication. Talk to you about weather or something like that, but you get the sense. I'm just going on and on and on. And I am tired, and I'm probably just talking because I'm tired. Slap happy. But, I mean, it's just, this has been a learning experience, and I still have another day, and I'm sure we'll learn a lot more. Hopefully tomorrow we can all go, you know what I mean? But it's just like anything, you can't really let your guard down on a lot of things because you just can't. I mean, you have some people that doesn't even want to come out of their house because they don't know how their neighbor is going to act. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of fears out there on that sense. Like, you can't even help somebody when they break down because you don't know if they're going to knife you or rape you or, you know what I mean? Or, and as was for the police officers, you get pulled over, especially women. I don't want to be biased on it, but it's kind of reality. You got the women who get, if you have a tail light out and you get pulled over and you don't know if it's actually a cop or not, because we've had some bad ones. And not with just women, different races and things like that. Shouldn't be like that. Should not be like that at all. But yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of what we are discussing and going through. It wasn't, actually didn't tell you everything because we'd be here forever. You know what I mean? Ever. But that kind of like, that was awesome. That was totally scary awesome. Scary, scary, scary awesome. But it's been enlightening, to say the least. Both sides, or all sides, or the whole freaking room actually had surprises like, whoa, we totally looked at you or somebody or the problem or non-problem or just the person itself all wrong. We were either taught or showed or raised or grown up as this is the way it's supposed to be, and that's just it. And it's like, no, it's no change. There's changes, but we need to shape this government, the government and religions for that matter. A lot of other things too, but let's just keep it, you know, baby steps. Baby steps, that's how it works. You don't want to overwhelm progress. Does that make you sense? Don't overwhelm it. But this kind of gives it just kind of opens up for some more questions and understandings. Is what it is. It's nice. Still scary. Nobody was trying to convince the other one to see their view or to come on their side of a view. If that makes sense. If they choose to do so, that was, you know, oh, I never knew that. I'm with you. That's, you know, on their own type thing. It's not like, this is how it is and this is how it should be and you should be doing it too. It was nothing like that, and that's not how he was trying to do it. Or, that's not how it was, you know, that's not what this was. It was, who are you? Why do you think the way you do, and how'd you get there? To get an understanding. Not one of those dictating, you know, well, I know you did it this way, but it should have been that. It was none of that. Up to this point. Don't know what's happening from one day to the next. But anyways, there's day 2 of 3. And getting through it. Baby steps. Round, over, through it. Working around. Still smiling. Tired smiling. But there's a lot of smiles. Sad smiles and happy smiles. Happy tears, sad tears. I'll own it. I was crying. I was crying. Just like the group thing, you know, bunching up. That just, it wasn't doing it for me. It might do it for a lot of others, but that just wasn't. I was like, we're individuals. Individuals. Look at us, individuals with a lot of similarities. You know, likes and this, that, and the other. With a lot of agreements and a lot of disagreements. But you kind of get that thing. Kind of get that, right? So, yeah, anyway. I'm going to try and get some sleep. Trying to get some sleep. Got my blankie. Look. I'm tired. But, yeah. Anyway. Day 2 of 3. Be a blessing. And, see you guys. Much love.